Welcome to this podcast episode in which we'll be looking at the topic of meaningful business. My name is Dr Alex Altersky from the School of Business and Society at the University of York. A warm welcome to my guest, Dr Karolos Papadas, Associate Professor of Marketing in the School for Business and Society at the University of York. Hi Karolos. I know you've been doing some work on green marketing recently. Please can you introduce us to the topic of green marketing and how does it link to the topic of meaningful business?
Thank you, Alex, and thank you for having me in your podcast. Green marketing refers to integrating environmental considerations into all marketing aspects, from product development and promotion to distribution and pricing. More or less, it encompasses all the process of marketing, the development, delivery, and communication of products with a minimal environmental impact. And as you know, the young generations are very much sensitive to environmental issues, and businesses must find ways to adapt to environmental disruptions while remaining profitable. We know what's happening with the climate crisis. We know what's happening with all the new events that we see across the globe, from the recent LA wildfires to big floods, even here in the UK. So it's really important for businesses to shape a strategy that can balance purpose with profit. So green marketing strategy offers this opportunity to businesses, and as you can understand, this creates a constant challenge between balancing between sustainability commitments and financial performance. And this is particularly true during times of uncertainty, like recessions, the recent pandemic, when budget constraints often lead to cuts in marketing and sustainability initiatives. So, in an essence, green marketing strategy offers a way to meet these challenges by anticipating market changes and the increasing demand for sustainable products. We can say today, from recent research we do in this area and from established research in this area, that green marketing strategy is today considered as a dynamic capability, enabling businesses to sense and exploit external opportunities and ultimately building resilience and enhancing performance. And there are many ways to do that. For example, building resilience and over time through the financial performance and operational performance. Green marketing also is a great way to differentiate your organization, the products that you are offering, so meeting consumer demand and gaining competitive advantage. As consumers become more eco-conscious, their demand for sustainable products and services grows. So by implementing a green marketing strategy in for your products, your services, you actually differentiate yourselves from competitors and you attract a loyal customer base. And last but not least, as you also know, Alex, from your research, meeting and responding the stakeholders' pressures like media, governmental pressures. We have these regulatory frameworks like the Paris Agreement, meeting the pressures from your own employees, from your own customers base, increases the pressures to businesses to adopt sustainable practices. So green marketing strategy provides that framework for responding to these demands, improving social legitimacy, and mitigating potential risks associated with non-compliance or even negative perceptions of your stakeholders. And what we've seen is that through our recent publications, which I hope to discuss more later, we see through a research we did with colleagues from University of Athens, University of Leeds, and Open University of Cyprus, that investing in green marketing strategies in times of uncertainty does pay off in the long term and help organizations to thrive in a changing world that we all see today.
Thanks for that. I mean, you're preaching to the converted here with myself, but there's some challenges that organisations have to deal with linked to green marketing. For example, greenwashing or resource issues or in times of uncertainty? How do they deal with these challenges?
I'm very happy to actually, getting asked that kind of questions because that was the true motivation behind our research. So there are a few key challenges that the companies are trying to manage today. The first one is the resource availability for green marketing. So pursuing a green marketing strategy often requires significant investment in research and development, new technologies, eco-friendly materials, and of course marketing initiatives. However, economic downturns and uncertainty can limit the resources available to invest in these activities. Our study found that companies that increased investment in green marketing strategies during a crisis had higher post-crisis financial performance compared to those that maintained or decreased their investments. So the availability of resources, or what we call as slack resources in the bibliography, is crucial to implement green marketing strategies effectively. So this is one key challenge, the resource availability. The second big challenge is to balance your commitment to sustainability as an organization with your financial performance. And here, Alex, we need to be, very actually realistic because a business without profit cannot operate the next day. So during crisis, such as economic recessions, as I said, the global pandemic, political uncertainties, see Brexit, see the protectionism that we see today across many nations, and the national controversies we see. Due to the external environment, businesses are pressured to cut costs and often reduce sustainability and marketing budgets. So this creates an extra challenge for businesses to balance their commitment with their sustainability targets. The third and one of the most important challenges, as you correctly mentioned, is greenwashing. What is greenwashing? Greenwashing involves making misleading claims about environmental benefits of products or services. And of course, it can damage in the short, medium term the reputation of a company and even undermine the consumer's trust. To mitigate greenwashing, organizations should live by important principles like the ones of transparency, authenticity, credibility, and this means to focus on integrating environmental responsibility into their entire marketing strategy and operations, going beyond any superficial claims of green marketing. And this, as I said, includes transparent communication about environmental efforts, how you walk the talk and you talk the walk, as we say. And our findings, which by the way supported by real world examples like Unilever and Nestle, indicate that investing in green marketing initiatives during challenging times can enhance your resilience and lead to long-term financial success, which means that you are a truly committed organization to environmental sustainability. And this is why we believe, Alex, that based on our research, that green marketing strategies should be considered as a strategic investment rather than a discretionary expense.
Interesting, thank you. Well, I mean, I think you've touched on this a little bit, but organizations have had to deal with a very uncertain business environment over the last few years, and in fact they are doing now. I think you touched on it a little bit in terms of Brexit, COVID, and at the moment protectionism, etc. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you found about green marketing in this context?
Yes, of course, absolutely. Well, as you said, we live in a new normal of constant uncertainties. Anyone can find out and confirm that if they watch the news or if they read any newspaper any day. The world is actually, we have a new normal era, continuous uncertainties, and firms, of course, influenced by these macro environmental factors, are facing challenges in remaining resilient while also adapting to any environmental disruptions. In our research, which was published in the European Journal of Marketing, and it was about whether you invest or digest from green marketing strategies and whether this pays off in the long term. We used real hard data, objective data, that we found that companies invested in their green marketing strategies during a crisis. They experienced improved financial performance in the long run. And the case we used for this was the well-known Greek crisis in 2015, where we had the big Brexit challenge. So we used data from that period over a 10-year period, and we found that green marketing strategies are a dynamic capability that helps firms to build resilience during periods of crisis, and the positive effects, this is the interesting thing, are intensified by the availability of the resources for green marketing during a crisis. In practical terms, the companies that remained loyal to their commitment to the natural environment and they kept investing in green marketing strategies during a crisis, they enjoyed financial benefits and operational benefits during and post-crisis compared to those that didn't invest. And when we talk about benefits and performance outcomes, we're talking about operational resilience, financial resilience, and long-term and post-crisis financial performance. What is more, and it's really interesting, out of our data, we tried to profile 6 crisis response profiles in order to help businesses to understand what is their profile. So we came up with the green non-believers, the green disinvestors, the green reluctants, the green cautious, and the cautious, opportunistic, and strategic green investors. So these 6 profiles, actually based on these profiles, we found that the performance outcomes vary. And for example, the strategic green investors, or those that are highly engaged in green marketing strategy, had high availability of resources for green investment during recession, displayed higher resilience than green non-believers and green disinvestors after the crisis. So what I'm trying to say is that this indicates that a green marketing strategy should be paired with significant green investments to pay off in the long run. And this, takes me back to some really interesting and breakthrough papers in the 90s that actually take the case about how important it is to invest in marketing during a crisis. Yeah. So we take a step further and we're talking now about green marketing.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting, and obviously I've read the paper and really, really interesting. So obviously the paper was based on the context in Greece, but if we take what you've learned from that research, what are a few things, maybe 3 things that you would advise an organization to do to successfully manage its green marketing?
Thank you. That's a very good question, actually. My very first journal paper was a conceptualization of green marketing orientation. And that paper was published in Journal of Business Research in 2017, and it is actually very, very, very well cited. We try to see, and we argue that in order to be green marketing oriented, you need to have a holistic green marketing strategy from bottom to the top of the businesses. So if I was about to sum up the findings of that research back then, and from the practice, is that, first of all, in order to lead a successful green marketing strategy, you need to have a holistic approach. And based on the findings of our work, we see that first, you need to embed sustainability into your organization's DNA. This is a long process that involves developing a genuine and deep-rooted commitment to corporate sustainability that extends beyond simply adhering to regulations. For example, it's not enough to have just a PR department dealing with your corporate sustainability reports. You need to have a separate sustainability department and to have skilled sustainability professionals to make sure that you are committed to your goals, sustainability goals in the long run. And this is because a robust commitment to sustainability is essential for authenticity and building trust with stakeholders, as we said earlier on, and paving the way for your long-term success in your business. The second advice, if I may say, that I will share with our audience is to strategically invest in green marketing. This means that you need to treat green marketing not like an advertising expense. This is wrong by its nature, but you need to treat green marketing as a strategic investment rather than a cost. This is crucial because this is this is the mindset that you need to have, and if you don't, you need to change your mindset. And what does this mean in practice? This means that you need to allocate sufficient resources, both financial and human ones, in areas like research and development, implementing marketing campaigns that are eco-friendly, providing training to your employees. This means that you need to invest at three levels: at the strategic level, which goes to the wider business processes and functions; to a tactical level. In practical terms, this means to green your marketing mix, your product, your price, your place, your promotion; and at the internal level, to educate your first customers. And who are the first customers? Our employees. Mm-hmm. So green marketing is a long-term strategy that requires ongoing dedication and investment over time to succeed. The third is to adopt this holistic approach to green marketing. So green marketing should be integrated across all your business strategy. It should be a part of your business plan, of your operations, and this involves aligning your green marketing strategies with other critical business functions like the supply chain management, the product development, and human resources. We do know that a sustainability-driven organization is an organization that pursues innovation. We do know that sustainability is the biggest disruptor for innovation. So it's really important, this mindset, this green marketing orientation, to be aligned across all the departments of your organization. And this comprehensive integration helps also to create a consistent and impactful approach, ensuring that the environmental considerations are ingrained in all aspects of your business, rather than just being a marketing tactic. So if you do all this, first of all, an organization avoids greenwashing. And if you do all this, this means that you are serious about being committed both to environmental sustainability, but also being committed to a contemporary marketing strategy, like a green marketing strategy, that, as we saw from our findings in our research with my dear colleagues, we see that this can therefore help you become resilient and does pay off in the future. So being a green marketing oriented organization doesn't only contribute to a more sustainable future, but also enhance your business performance and build a stronger and more resilient organization.
Wow, a lot to take in there, but absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Karolos, for your fantastic insights on meaningful business. I wish you the best of luck with all your future research and plans.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you for hosting me in this very interesting podcast, and I wish you all the best for the next sessions to come. Thank you.
Until next time.